Going on to you, Libras. So you have the Two of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Emperor, the Ten of Wands, the Seven of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Tower, the King of Cups, the Lovers, and the Star. So again, a lot of you Libras are celebrating your newfound level of independence. You don't want to have anything to do with somebody, right? The Two of Cups, the Eight of Swords, you had to really tell this person how you felt at the end. And a lot of you Libras are very proud at the way that you ended the relationship with them. You told them about themselves, right? And you know, you're a zodiac sign, among other zodiac signs, that can really rip it to people in a way, right? When you're telling them certain things that could really end up really causing some form of heartbreak there, right? So the Emperor now represents, yeah, like you're not going to be with anyone who is not going to consider you, even though they're supposed to be getting to know you. See, a lot of you Libras got to understand something, right? And we're getting deeper into it, right? I'm telling you, we're getting deeper and deeper into this stuff, right? Whenever it is that you find yourself being into a relationship with somebody where the two of y'all, like the person is good. See, there's another thing too that a lot of people don't take into consideration, right? When you find yourself being into like a romantic, with a romantic interest, where the two of y'all are good, right? And then the moment the two of y'all have that conversation about the two of y'all being together, or the two of y'all giving it a try, and the person starts wilding out, they start going crazy. The next thing you know, you're the worst person in the world. That person you can't ever help. The best thing for you to do is to get away from that person. And this is part of the reason why there's a lot of people find themselves talking about they don't want to say that they like somebody, because that's what's going on. You got a lot of people who are dysfunctional, right? To say the least. I have other words to say. They're possessed, right, by a spirit, right? That's really, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but they're really caught up in some stuff where as soon as, you know, the two of you make an agreement that y'all are going to be in a relationship, they start spazzing out. They don't know what's going on. They start losing their mind. So the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Cups represents you really have to watch out for this stuff. And a lot of times people want to act like this person was like that. That's not always the case. Sometimes the way that those relationships play themselves out is that person did everything they could to hide that part of themselves. That's why it is that they make movies on it. How many movies have you seen, Libra, where the person was cool with you, right? Or the person was cool at first, and then like the person turned out to be a stalker slash, you know what I mean? Like a stalker and a this and a that and a whatever, right? So that's even though those stories were created, they're based off of real life occurrences, things that happen in real life. So a lot of you Libras realize now that you're not in that anymore. You've since then dubbed that person and you've kept it moving, right? The Seven of Cups, now you are thinking about the options that you have now, right? Yeah, don't even worry about this past person, because whenever it is I see that you're lingering, whenever it is I see cards like this over and over and over, there's still a level of lingering on the past. There's still a level of, I can't, oh my gosh, I just feel so good. Don't even think about this person. Just think about what it is that you've got going on now, and think about the future and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So you have the Five of Swords, right? And the Five of Swords now represents Five of Swords, the Tower, the King of Cups, right? The Lovers, the Star card. You may be, okay, so a lot of you may be thinking to yourselves that you're not going to go back to. Someone is showing you the same kind of problems that the person that you were with before showed you. And that's what made a lot of you Libras start to get a little bit startled or start to be put on high alert, because you saw that this person and that person had huge similarities with one another. And you Libras was like, yo, is this the same person but a different shirt? And the thing about it is that the lovers now, right, is about the lovers, and the star card is about you want to be able, like, you're not with them. You're not with this new person that you were trying to get to know, because they were showing you a lot of signs that reminded you of an ex, the ex that you're so glad that you got away from. And that's the last group of people that you want to go back to, your ex, or a person that reminds you of your ex. So a lot of you Libras, right, the lovers and the star represents aspirations, right? It represents it represents goals. So relationship goals, you know what I mean? How a lot of people say they got relationship goals. You Libras are basically on some relationship goals type stuff, you know? A lot of you want to be in a relationship, but one that's not dysfunctional, one that's not riddled in the person going crazy soon as the two of you start to be together, right? Now all of a sudden they got to be your overseer. They have to tell you what to do, and they have to, on either side, because you have anyone can be bossy, right? You have bossy people on both sides. So let's clarify the lovers. Let's clarify the lovers, right? The Four of Pentacles, Page of Wands, the Strength, the King of Wands, right? To clarify the lovers, right? The Four of Pentacles, you want a stable relationship. You want to be able to feel comfortable. You don't want to have to be a Libra, all the time, in the sense that a Libra, right? Cardinal air that's just moving all over the place, because you can't really trust anybody. So you can't settle down. A lot of you Libras don't want that. You want to be able to be stationary, comfortable with the person that you're with. You want to be able to trust them. The Page of Wands and the Strength. You don't want to have to wild out on them. You don't want to have so much disagreements. Not saying that disagreements is always a bad thing, but you don't want to have so much to the point where the relationship does not move forward functionally. And the King of Wands, you want someone that can apologize. You want someone that can actually learn from their faults. Learn from your faults as well. You want someone that's wise. You want someone that's compassionate. Someone that is stable, right? Because a lot of the people that you have been interacting with lately, the people in general that you stopped talking to, the people in general that you are getting to know, right, a few days ago, or maybe even a month ago or whatever, they're not that. So a lot of you Libras realize more of what it is that you want and more of what you don't want, right? You now have a better understanding of what type of person you want. You know that you want a person that's more emotionally and mentally stable. And yes, that's a very good trait to have. So let's clarify the Star card. Right? So to clarify, you have the Four of Swords, the World, the Eight of Wands, the World, the Eight of Swords, and the Hanged Man. So this is about you Libras, right? Well, first and foremost, what it's saying is that the Four of Swords represents you want to be able to put down the idea that you can't trust anybody. But your suspicion is good, because you should be suspicious, right? Like the minute, like you really should be suspicious. When you see warning signs, it's good for you to be able to see those warning signs, right? So really the best thing for you to do is to date. The world represents that too. It represents experience. It represents you need to step your experience up. That's the majority of how people gonna play it, right? People really think trying to play this game like being healthy is like getting caught up and like being a boss and all this other stupid stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with anything. And the Eight of Swords now is about how you got to really watch out for that. The Eight of Swords is that the best thing for you to do is to stay focused on what it is that you really want to accomplish. Not just financially and all of that, but freedom-wise, right? How do you want the relationship to feel? Should the relationship feel like freedom, right? Or are you going to feel more binded in or tied into or roped into a relationship, right, where you don't want? And then you have the Hanged Man, right? The Hanged Man is about how you're in a situation where, because you don't want to be in that, right? And the Hanged Man can represent that binding. It can represent that idea of you not having anywhere to go and you being smothered by the person in the relationship. But that's up to you. You Libras don't have to mess with people. You don't. Whenever it is that you see warning signs that a person is giving off, you're supposed to dub them. You're supposed to leave. That's pretty much it. Peace.